here on Rosemount Bog. It's about 7 miles north-east of Mowat, County Westmeath, Ireland. And the date is the 17th of December 2021. And I'm going to try and explain how turf was cut back in the 1950s. And I used to hear my father talking about rolling he was going to the bog to roll the bank, and I was wondering how they could do this in a bog. And because I used to see him rolling barley at home when it grew up about 4 inches, he'd roll it down the stone. So he brought me to the bog anyway, and he brought with him a spade and a hay knife. Hay knife was a very important tool before balers came over that for cutting out sections of hay. And the bog it wasn't like what it is now. It went in, it was down about 4 feet from the top there, gone in about 5 yards, and then up again to the heather. But when he
so like Dad, was it a ledge?
A ledge, yeah, a ledge. He got up on the ledge with the spade and he started undermining the bog along there. And when he had he undermined it about maybe 1.5 feet.
So he cut into the ledge?
Cut it into the bottom, and he took that corner off on the top. And then when he had it undermined, he got up where the heather was, and he started cutting out sections about 3 foot by 3 foot square and loosening them with the spade. And when they'd tumble out when he had it loosened enough, and he kept them going, pushing them till they came down in the bog hole.
And that turf was not used?
It wasn't used. They had to use it to fill the bog hole. It was all
puck turf.
There was all when you roll the bog holes down along where we were. We went to Grouse Bog. That's the first bog, and you had to roll the bank on the 1st of April. He had a lot of. He had a good few. He set a lot of turf banks. A lot of people on board took turf banks off.
So he owned the bank.
He owned the bank.
Right.
So yeah.
And he was preparing it for the turf cutting season.
You rolled the bank. Everyone rolled the bank on the 1st of April, and it flushed all the water that was in it out into the drains. The idea was not to have any water trapped. And when that was done, he kept rolling the top of the bog into the bog hole, and he.
How far down did the top of the bog go?
It only went down about 3 foot.
So he had to cut.
Brown mark, the bottom of that brown mark, you're a bit above it.
Mm-hmm.
And he.
So the dry section. Yeah,
when he had that, the bog hole filled to about 6 inches from the top of this area, the low bank they called it. He stopped, he leveled it out on that. So that was that for that day.
And how long would it take to turn a bank?
To roll a bank?
Roll a bank.
Has to be a lot of the day gone. But he leveled it out about 6 inches.
Like how big was your bank you were rolling?
It was about I think 7 yards wide, and it'd be 5 yards deep, and that was a bank of turf.
That was your turf that you were going to cut for the year?
Yeah. When you had that done anyway, levelled out on the top about 6 inches from the spread bank, he went home, and the next day he went out, started with the horse and cart and started cutting furze. Do you know what furze is?
That's them growing on the bank, up top.
There's nothing growing here, and they have a yellow flower in them. There's a lot of them growing.
Is that not them in the winter?
There was a lot of them growing on farms at that time, and then reclamation came and that got rid of them. But they used to use them he brought a load of them to the bog anyway, cut them and brought them to the bog, and he spread them out over where he had the lumps of turf rolled down into the bog hole there. He put them out anyway on that, and he put down more turf, more of the top of the bog, and tramped it into it. He left it that you could work a horse on it.
So you could pull in your cart.
Yeah,
that was a lot of work.
Oh, it was
hard.
Had to be well organised for the job. And then they were ready to cut turf then. So he got Jimmy Murray. He got Jimmy Murray. Jimmy Murray came as slayensman, and Jerry Cormack came catching turf, and he was bogeying it out.
And was your dad just cutting his own turf?
Oh, that's all, but they cooperate with one another.